Welcome to Art and Soul Insider. I'm Barbara Lynn Burns, and I'm here to help you find your joy, your creativity, and calm through art and wellness. Whether it's exploring new supplies, guided meditations, or inspiring art projects, this is your space to recharge and create. So let's make more art and less stress together. Here we go. Hi there, welcome to Kandinsky-Inspired Flowers Part 3. So this time we are going to be painting the stems in and inking. So I'm going to talk about, ink for you, the ink pens. So you just have a greater awareness of them. And then we're just going to ink everything. This takes time. Now, what I actually did, and you might have to do this with yours, is when you finish your painting of your flowers, your background, your flowers, and your stems, put it aside for a bit and go and do something. And I actually left my work for about 5 days. So that image was completely erased from my brain. And then what I did is I had it propped up. So when I came into my studio again, okay, that was the first thing I saw. And I could tell right away that my work needed ink. It needed that little sharpness of an edge, that contrast, to just bring out the visuals more, just to increase the contrast. So contrast, really what happens with it is let's go back. You have unity and you have contrast. You want your work to have a sense of unity, that things go together. But at the same time, it needs contrast because things need to pop out and you need to see them. So a work has to have a balance of those two. And I talked about unity in part 2. So if you haven't seen part 2, go and see it. And you can learn about that there. So I saw I needed more contrast. And so I did the inking. And the inking did make the difference. So I hope you join me and you just sit back with a cup of tea and a painting to paint by, or even work with gouache as well, and even maybe doing the same work. So with that, please like and subscribe. Your likes and subscribes mean the world to me, and I really, really enjoy your comments. I love hearing from you. So please continue your comments. It just makes me happy. So thank you very much. And let's get going. So now I'm going to begin drawing the stems from the flowers to the ground down here. Now, I'm going to do a variety of things. I'm going to match the color, so blue on blue, but I'm also going to mix it up. I'm going to maybe do this with purple. So, it's just being creative, just kind of going in and picking the color you like best. So I'm starting with the purple here. So I have a small the gumbracker number 1 here. So again, you want to do horizontal lines because then they'll look vertical. Now, you might want to work it the other way, right? Because I'm doing this just because it fits in the screen. But you can work this way if you want. Do what works best for you. Now, we're not worrying about perfection. So if they're a little wobbly, that's okay. That adds some unique expression to them. I'm just going to make this a little bit more. I made it more of a tip. I want to make it a little more flat at the top. Okay, so I'm going to do another purple one. I want to narrow my, there we go. I'm going to go in front of this one and behind this one. and going behind this one. So again, whenever the flower is on top and there's a stem coming from behind it, technically, then you're going to notice that it's going to appear like it's in front of. Well, this one, see this one? The line is in front of it, so it looks like this flower is in front of that one. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do a yellow. I might do, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do a yellow stem. Yeah, that's the only color I think I'm going to pass on. So, yeah, whoops. Make sure you get off little hairs like that. Wow. Glad I saw it before I went like this. Now, one thing I'm kind of thinking of is I'm wondering whether to outline these. Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm going to outline these. I'm going to go over this one. And you're probably wondering, well, how do you decide which ones you go over and pretend that they're behind? It's just whatever I tell myself. It's not anything artistic. It is just purely just, you know, what my intuition says. So trust your intuition. This is a good opportunity it's a safe environment to try it. Now, I want to curve this one. So, yeah, that's the only curved one I have. Everything else is a little, well, some, you know, some might have a little curve, but this one's going to be really curved. So I'm actually going to use this color. Okay. Oops, a little water went on top of that one. I have to let it go because this is a little tricky because I'm not directly above it, you know? So I can't really see what I'm doing if I'm truly like on top of it, like and am doing this correctly. We'll find out, I guess. But again, we're playing. And this is a nice opportunity to do a work sideways to see if it works, right? Need a little more water. It's not as creamy. So this one's a little thicker, and I'm okay with that. That's going to give it a sense of variety, right? There we go. I'm going to use this color again. Not enough liquid in this one. It's drying out on me. Yeah. So to get a wider stem, you're going to press down on your brush a bit more. This is a round brush, so when you don't press down, when you go at the tip, you're going to do thin lines. When you press down, thicker lines. It's very interesting painting on gouache this way. I can feel the dryness of the paper. I'm going to do this a little thicker at the top because it's a little thicker stem there. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how it looks. I might actually take out the frame, you know, and see how it looks then. These ones, I'm not sure if I'm going to see the stem. I might do this one. Let's do this one. It's very interesting. It's very like tempera paint. When it dries, see, it kind of flakes, right? So those flakes are good. That's paint. That's pigment. So just take it and rub it all in. There you go. And what happens is the water will dissolve it. I got some chunks in here, so just letting the water take over, right? Okay, so here's this one. Challenging to do these long lines. But it's okay. Again, the idea of it, they don't have to be perfect because these are kind of wonky. It works, you know. I'm going to take this one that's really high. Yeah, so I'm not sure about the outlining. And you want to be able to, especially when you're going over another color, you want the color to appear as how it is. So this is a red, so I'm wanting it to appear red over the over this pink, right? Because it is dry now. And then you see it looks a little bit more like the orangey red that it is. And that, I believe that's a cadmium. Oh, sorry. Crimson. No, that's not crimson red. Vermilion red, right. Vermilion red's a little more orangey. Okay, let's get a little more because we've got two reds. Thin line, so I'm using the tip of my brush here. There we go. Thin and thick variety. Let's do another red one here because we've got lots of red here. So yeah, trying to use my colors equally. They're not solid because you are seeing a little bit of the color underneath, you know, the variations. So, you know, that would have been nicer if it was, yeah, more the watercolor effect I was looking for. I have to work on that, and that's okay. I'm kind of excited. It's something I'm looking forward to playing with, right? You have to kind of look at it that way. So let's do a little curve on this line. Not a huge curve, just a curve. Do you want red? Or what color do I want? When you do things like this, you really have to kind of check where you are. Like, do your hands feel steady today? You know, are you? Because if you're really feeling uneven, right? Maybe hold off, right? Maybe give it try another day. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's all good. It's just a matter of, you know, knowing where you're at physically. You know, you might be really tired. Say you did this drawing or painting, I'm sorry, all in one go, kind of like I am. And I'm getting a little tired, right? So I might wobble a bit more. But again, that's okay. Okay, I'm not sure how this is really being seen or if it's being seen. Sorry if you see my head in here. I'm trying to figure out where my line is because you don't want it all of a sudden to disappear, right? You want your stems not to be a lighter value. You want them to show up. Because other than that, things are just going to look like they're kind of hanging, right? I've got that great green, but I can't really use the green. I could deepen it up. I could add a blue or something to it. I could add a pink to it to make it look a little more brown. So this has been done, this. So you have to go around and make sure everyone's getting a stem. Because otherwise it'll look kind of funny, just it hanging in space. But yeah, make sure when you're doing lines that there's nothing impeding your lines. So we have this. This one does not have one yet. Notice that? So it's this one with the red, but this one does not have one. So let's do this one. It's going to be on the other side of the red. What's nice about this is you don't have to wait too long because it's going to be dry very quick. Okay, we've got this one. We've got these 4 left to do. Very happy picture, isn't it? I'm really excited to actually see how it looks when it's proper side up. I find this is a very unique way of doing a work. I've done something like this before, where you're not drawing the picture as it actually appears. And it was a positive and negative exercise. And it was really good because it forced you just to see the shapes when I was drawing it. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. I actually did that with my students. We'll maybe try it one time too here. Because and I keep thinking, oh, gee, we haven't done a lot of drawing. So maybe we'll do that a little bit sometime soon. By not having the stems as green, it adds to the playfulness and the brightness of this work. And that's what's kind of neat, So really, my color theory, I don't know if it was really strong, this one. It really seems like a mishmash, but I'm okay with that because I was just testing out the paints. I wasn't thinking of them necessarily as colors. Very interesting, though, huh? Even though I did the warm, cool thing. But I was looking at it more and how the paints were working. And, something like this, you might finish the piece and say, oh, I'm done. And then you might look back later and go, how did I miss that? Don't worry. I'm going to use the same color that's in the center as the stem. Let's see, I brought a little bit of blue was in my brush, so that kind of changed the color a bit, and then I just overextended it, which is okay. It's brings in a new color. We've got enough colors. Let's add some more. Oh, big drop from my furrow. Not good. I'm going to just like that. Oh, quick. Good. Worked. Oh, I keep forgetting to look. Sometimes water, when you stick your brush into the water, water can kind of keep on your furrow here, just hanging around. And then when you tip your brush down, naturally gravity brings it down, and then you can have a blop of water. That's exactly what happened there. Just that second coat is going to ensure that this is going to just show up a little bit more, right? Okay, everything is... except for this one because it's not at the center. The center is off page. That one, that one, that one. We are good, people. Yeah, we are good. Okay. So, I'm going to take the tape off now. Okay, let's take the tape off. We will see. I was thinking of adding a little touch of little white accents. I'm going to see how it looks. Like, I think I might do that with it being, with the white border. Now, the white border doesn't necessarily mean that's what you choose or show when you're framing. A white border just gives the framer just an extra choice if they would like to show that extra line of color or white. Now again, I'm kind of thinking, do I want to add the black as an outline just to accentuate it a bit more? I'm kind of thinking, yeah, I do. I do. There you go. I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sleep on it. And I'm going to prop it up on my chair. So the next thing I see when I come into my little studio area is this picture. And it'll be facing me as I walk in. And I will immediately know what I think of it, whether it needs the black line or not, or whether it needs a little bit of the white or not. This will, having that time, because my eyes have been so focused on all of this, what will help my decision is to give my eyes a rest from it. So go to sleep, rest. The next day or the next time I have an opportunity to work on this, again, I'll have it propped up on my chair, facing me or facing the area where I walk in to my little studio, and I will be able to tell yes, no, or, it's okay, or do I want to do a little bit more, right? So, yeah. So thank you so much for joining me. We're going to find out whether or not I add. I don't know because I have to wait for this. You'll know right away. So here we go. Well, we're back. So I did the test where I propped it up on my chair, and I actually left it for, I'd say 5 days. Yeah, it's been 5 days. So I went looking and when I went looking, I went away and then came back looking, and lo and behold, it needs inking. So that's what we're going to do today. I have a variety of inks here in front of me. These are the OGs, okay? These are the all-time greats because they totally changed the way inking was done. This was the first pen that created a disposable technical pen. And technical pens are pens that you get a variety of sizes. So 1 means it's 1 millimeter thick, and naturally then 0.01 is actually the smallest. So really small. I don't know if you can see that, if I'm getting the right focus here, because I can't see in my camera here. So there that's small compared to, let's find you the 1. Okay. So the 1 on the bottom is the 1, and the 1 on top is 0.01. That's the smallest I have. And amazing, huh? So what it did was brought the whole idea of all these amazing variety of sizes to artists. These technical pens were expensive. And then what you had to do was then buy the nibs for each one, right? So you'd have the main technical pen with the well and everything like that, where you put the ink in, and then you'd alternate the different sizes of nibs you wanted. These were the first where you didn't have to do anything like that. The ink was contained in here, and once it was done, you threw it out. It's quite disposable, but it did help a lot of young artists, and especially students in university, having to do technical drawings, etc., and even those that were into architect and that type of work, or wanting to get in that type of work, they were able to get these pens at an economical price that they could afford. Because, you might not know, but when you're a student, things are a little tight. So these are the old ones. These are the Sakura. Where is Sakura there? Where does it say Sakura? Oh, right here. Okay. Sakura Color Products Corporation. They're made in Japan. And then these are called microns. Okay. So they're called Pigma Microns. And you get a whole bunch of different sizes. You can buy like 4, I think, or 5. I think it's a 5 set, then a 7 set, and then you can actually get more. So I don't have all the numbers. This is all I have. I have a bigger set here. It's Micron Graphics. It's from Temu. Sorry about that. And again, I get here a 3 to a 0.005. So I have a nice gradation here of pens. And then these are not technical pens. These are just pens, and they might look different now. These are quite old, but I still have them around, and they're still good. These are just Hi-Tecpoint pens. Their nib is 0.7. And then these ones are a little bit finer. They call them extra fine, and that's 0.5. So a lot of difference, but it depends how thick you want your lines, right? So part of me is thinking with this, because it reacts with water or moisture, in this case with the pens, I'm kind of concerned how these guys are going to work. Now, what's wonderful about these, the inks are archival. They're light fast. That means the tendency for them to fade, it takes longer compared to, I don't really know how long these are going to go. But because I'm going to be applying them onto the gouache, I'm afraid of reactivating the gouache. So I'm kind of concerned about using these, and even these ones that I got from Temu. So that's why I have these out. So I think I'm going to go along with these, even though I don't know how good their light fastness is. But even if I go along and do this, this will create kind of a first coat. So then if I want to, I could go over with this. You see? That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm going to show you here. Here's actually I did a little example for another class I was teaching, all the different thicknesses of lines and how thin they get. But here I'm concerned just with, want to make sure it's working. I think this one is done. There's nothing worse for me. That's one of my fears as an artist. You're working on something and then it stops working, and you have no more of that supply. So okay. So that's the V5. So that's smaller. Here's the V7. It's a little bit thicker. And see? My concern with the thickness is I'm concerned about, see all down here, the lines get very, very, very close together, right? So I'm concerned about the thickness of my line and maybe not working that well with this in that section. You know what? I'm going to go for the thicker one. That's what I'm telling myself. So away I go. So, since I am a right-handed, I'm going to go right to left. The reason why is this ink might take time to absorb into the painting. So my concern is if I do this down here and then I go over here, I might smudge it. Now I know I can always put a piece of paper over it, which is, how I usually do things, or, let me try and get, I'm trying to recycle here. I can't get it. I'm going to get a new one. Paper towel. My surface here is quite big. It used to be an old drafting table, but now it's my art table, as you can tell by the mess in the background. So, yeah, so that's, you just then go like this, right? Oh, I got a little white. Oh, I didn't paint right there, or it flecked off. We'll fill that in. So I'm going to start down here. And because I'm right-handed, and I feel... Very important when you're doing straight lines, go whichever way feels good to you. So you might not see the whole image, but I might go this way because that feels good to my hand going down. What I might do is I might get another of these and put it here so when I'm doing these, I'm not down on the table. You see what I mean? So I'm more even level. So I'll do that. Just a minute. So like that. So I'd put it something like that, right? And so then when I'm here, see how it's much smoother for me instead of having that bump. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to put it about here. And I'm going to start. So I'm going to do the stems first. And because I'm right-handed again, I'm going left to right. Yeah, this line takes up some space. So you're going to see a lot of dark instead of more color here. It would look weird if I did these all as an outline, because that's what I want to do, because I want them to pop out more. Be weird to do this and not do down here. So that's why I'm going down to the bottom as well. So, and doing this line work. These reminded me very much of poster paints, which is kind of like tempera paints, right? Remember those in elementary school? That's what it had a feel to it. There's a chalkiness to it of this paint. So far, so good with the ink going on top of this. And it doesn't seem to be lifting any of it. So that is good. And it's not affecting my nib, which was one thing I was concerned about, right? Oh yeah, it takes a little time. I can see the wetness in you might not be able to see it, but yeah, it's taking some time to dry. Usually this ink soaks right into the paper. So I guess we've developed a little bit of a screen as such that it's not absorbing that quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be quiet and you can just watch. I'm going to probably speed this up because you don't need to see me outlining. But if I have anything important to say, believe me, I will stop and share it with you. You probably didn't notice, but I actually had to stop because all of a sudden there was knocking on the window, and I was like, well, it was my partner. He was locked out of the house. So I had to stop and go relieve him. I'm back now, so let's continue. When you're doing something like this, it's very meditative. It's very mindful because you're focusing just on the line. So you can really, at this moment, just relax yourself. Just focus on doing the line. Take your time. There's no rush. So just really go and be mindful. There's no race in this. So, this is something beautiful that you can always pick up again, right? If your husband locks himself out of the house, you can always stop and then come back to it and then return to that sense of mindfulness. It really is just a wonderful thing to outline. It's just very, very calming. Because I was looking here, it's very hard to see, but there is actually two colors there. There is kind of a pink, and then there's a red. Very, very. You can see it a little bit when you're further down here, but here, yeah, it's very hard. There, so that looks not too bad. It was a challenge, the V5 would have been easier, but I'm liking the way they do show up. My concern was with the V5 that it wouldn't show up as much. So, we'll never know, right? So, you could do another work like this and use the V7. So, the V5. Sorry, confusing that. The smaller, thinner nib. So, yeah. So, what I'm going to do here is, since some of this is wet, I'm going to take the blow dryer to it just to make sure. Then when I stick my hand over it, I'll know for sure it's dry. So as you saw, I was taking my finger, and I can see a little bit of a glossiness to the ink where it's, I've ended it where the ink might be a little bit thicker. So I took my finger, and I can see it's clean, and go and press down and see if anything came up. And nothing's been coming up. So I think that's pretty good. Oh, I lost a little bit of paint there too. I might just, with that, there's that. And where else was there a little white spot? I could bring in white as a highlight as such, right? So that's an option. Or fill this in black because this is, there's black outlines. We'll see. Yeah, so I'm pleased with that. I think right now, just looking at it, I know outlining was a good decision. So it's nice when you go ahead with something and you go, oh, okay, that worked well. Or that's working. So now I'm going to outline each of these shapes. So again, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to go left to right. Here we go. Let's put it on its marking so you can see. there. There we go. Okay, so just going over, make sure everything's outlined. There. So you'll see some posts of it naturally in its full form, and I hope you enjoyed this. Yeah, so I've got a quick reading after this just for you to enjoy. There you go. So before we go into another project or anything like this, I would like to just say a few words of gouache. Now, I enjoyed working with it. It was very interesting how it would reinvigorate itself just with a little bit of moisture. So I found troubles when I was doing it. Oh, right, I forgot to deal with that. I found troubles when I was trying to layer it up, make it not so transparent, my coat. So that was the problem where when it was more transparent, I was adding, I think, too much water to it. I do like the addition of the lines. I think the lines, especially with this type of work, works well. Now, there's beautiful works that people do blending and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's just, there's lots of possibilities with starting something like this. And I'm really, really kind of interested. And, one thing I noticed I need to watch out with, because trying to get the paint, the paint opaque, I built it up a little too much in some areas. So I've got little cracks here, right? So that's kind of a problem. Yeah, it was I think it's a challenging one because it works. Your brain has to wrap around that as soon as you apply your paint on top of something that's painted, it could raise it, right? So I guess I can see why people who are more traditional with not watercolors, but I guess watercolors and with acrylic, once it's down, right? So this is very much different. But I did enjoy working with it. And I found, I really got into the whole idea of making each of the circles and lining the work was very, very meditative. Yeah, I think it's a fun piece. It's a lot joyful. I think I would limit my color palette a little, just to give it a greater sense of unity. So I would kind of not make as many colors. Yeah, just to give it a stronger visual as such. So, but there you go. So I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, I sure did. It was fun. A lot of fun. So the oracle reading will be by the Prism Oracle. Tap into your intuition with the magic of color, which I love. And it's by Nicole Pivirotto. It's a 45 card deck and it has a guidebook. So here's the guidebook and here's the cards. It's a beautiful, colorful background. And then the cards are naturally all colors of the rainbow because it is a Prisma oracle. So color shows emotion. I've done an Elements of Design handout as well as video, which you can see right up here. And that had a section called Line Shows Emotion. So everything we do visually can share an emotion or a feeling. So it could be a shape, it could be a color, it could also be line. Okay, simple as that. So you really, when you're trying to get a visual across a feeling, you really have to think of what kind of colors, what kind of lines, what kind of shapes you're going to be doing, because it really does make a difference. So I found this card deck and I just knew I had to get it. So I forget where I got it from, but I've had a really fun time playing with it. Okay. No, it was this one. I was going to go for that one, but then I like this one. Okay. Comfort. So we'll go into our guidebook and see what the comfort is. So pink's a softer color of red. So red is usually passion and that type of stuff. White is purity, innocence. So it's a combination of those two. So let's see what the red or the pink card says. It's just a matter of finding it. Oh, here's pink. Okay, so pink is frequently associated with love, sweetness, nurturing, compassion. Pink roses are often associated with affection and gratitude, and in astrology, pink is aligned with the planet Venus, which rules over the aesthetics and love. Rose quartz, a popular crystal known for its light pink hue, is said to be useful for connecting to matters of the heart and boosting feelings like self-love. Brighter shades of pink, like magenta and fuchsia, convey a sense of excitement, while lighter shades of pink are often used to bring feelings of relaxation into the environment. So that's kind of where we're going with the comfort, which you can see. Oh, here it is. What they say about pink cards in a reading. So if you've got a reading, which kind of this is, a common theme among the pink cards in this deck is tenderness and love, which are what you're working with if you draw mostly pink cards. Love and tenderness, either for yourself or another, are really all about approaching things with a sense of gentleness and sensitivity. How can you be more kind to yourself and others? How can you approach life with compassion and an open and soft heart? Here it is, comfort. When comfort comes into the reading, it signals that you may need to invite some more self-care and comfort into your life. A great way to do this is through nourishing your spirit or your higher self. This can be something as simple as cleaning out your home and rearranging your space in order to invite in clear and comforting energy. It can also mean taking the time to prepare yourself a meal that your body has been craving. Whatever it is, do it with ease and give your nervous system the gentle break that it needs. Lovely. Comfort. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.